Hi everyone, Lewis here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my first impressions of another DayZ mod of a mod. This time it is a mod called DayZ Aftermath. I don't really want to, cover every single mod which ever comes out for DayZ, and I instead want to really cover ones which I feel have got a potential of an interesting future, or ones which I just think are really interesting. And in this case, this mod is really unique, and it's got a lot of really cool features. So as usual, in part 1 for this series, I'm just going to be showing you guys all the cool features found inside it, talk about them a bit at the start, and then I'll show you them actually, visually in just a few seconds after I've done this. And then in the future parts, we'll be having some action and hopefully showing you guys what the mod is like, when you're actually playing it as a normal player. So anyway, just to read out the cool list of all of the new features, keep in mind this is beta, it's extremely closed right now. Literally the only people who have access to play it is me, the devs of the mod of course, and a few of their friends. So it is really closed alpha kind of thing right now, and they've got a lot of cool things up and coming for its future. One kind of issue I've had with lots of mods like Overwatch, Breaking Point, is that lots of them just seem to take like weapon packs and stuff like that, just add them into the game and don't actually make too much original content. Lots of scripts are from community made stuff, but since the devs made most of the stuff themselves, it does have a potential of a very interesting future because the devs actually know what they're doing, which is really cool. But before I bore you guys to death, I'm just going to go through all the changes now. They're not going to be in any particular order, just I recorded about 3 hours or so of footage and I try to show off as many of the cool features as possible. But really the main focus for this mod is the customization in the map. There's a lot of stuff added, but let's get straight into it. And first off, show you guys a new city to the west of Kamenka. You can see the city is kind of an industrial area. It's got new roads around it. Before this was literally nothing. If anyone's never played the original Shnaros map, before now, well, in this mod, there was nothing over here at all. But you can see there's lots of open and closable gates for lights, which aren't actually on right now because it's not dark enough. But it's got custom roads, which is something not any mod that I know of actually has, because it's kind of hard to do. But it's got custom roads on the side, which lead you to different areas. This place is going to be really cool for close quarter combat. But as a whole, it's a pretty cool place. It's in the western edge of the map, right in the bottom left of the map, so it just adds a new area to explore. Pretty cool. There's a lot cooler places, like there's a prison, there's other stuff which I'm going to be showing you guys in this video, but this is a lovely little introduction into a mod. You can see lots of work has been added into here with all the custom props, individual, props which are in place. It's not like there's some kind of simple way to make this so quickly. Lots of stock DayZ Shnaros servers have made it before, so they've added lots of props to a map. So, for example, they'll add a lot of barracks to a northwest airfield or a northeast and make that kind of an end game area and make it just a bit easier to get guns. But it's not the case for this mod at all. All places which have added in, for example, a prison, the cleansing center, they have a purpose. So the prison is for military loot, the end game kind of area. The cleansing center is for cure of infection, blood bagging each other, that kind of stuff. So on top of obviously having these really cool new customized locations, we've also got very useful reasons to go there, basically. So, they've all got a reason to actually go there. They're not just somewhere cool to go look at. They've got something for everyone to go there and seek out and have some cool PvP battles. The next place I'm showing you guys right now, if you didn't know already, this is the below airfield. You can see it has become nighttime now, so all the lights are on. There's also this very cool thing in the corner where you can actually go ahead and turn the lights on and off and put the pool up and down. It's a pretty cool place. Nothing too significant, but I was kind of surprised to go over it and be able to actually go ahead and put the lights on for that. But all of the lights in this airfield right now, you can actually go ahead and shoot them out. I'll show you guys that once I do get to the other side of the airfield. But it's just cool to see everything looks in place. There's some mods in the past, like DayZ Civilian, where they've added lots of, new places to a map, but we just don't look right. We don't look natural. But since we've been able to add roads and whatnot in this mod, most of the places do look very natural. The runway with all the lights, it just looks cool. Another thing which I haven't shown you guys yet is actually the system to go ahead and loot places. They've added in a really cool thing, so certain items in the world, such as for example here, a box, well you see it once again inside this hanger, but the box inside this hanger, you're able to open it up with a crowbar and you'll find loot inside it. The loot right now isn't finalized, but obviously in the future it'll be changed so it's a bit more random, since I do find the same loot in both boxes which I open up. But for example, you could find a wardrobe, you could find a wooden box which you need to use a crowbar to open, you could just find a normal desk which of course you don't need a crowbar to open, and there's just a lot more uses for items which weren't useful before, like crowbars. No one ever wanted to pick them up, but now that you're able to use the crowbar to open up a box, and you can see you found an M4 aim point inside the weapon box, it's now a bit more valuable. We're also going to be changing it soon, so there's different tiers of weapons in different locations. So for example on the shoreline, this is going to be a tier 1 box, not going to have anything too amazing. But further inland, there's going to be different types of weapons. Like there's going to be some Western weapons, and on the coastline, there's going to be just Russian weapons. And yeah, we've got some pretty cool ideas. But you can see the concept is pretty cool, and it's never been done on a mod before. This is me opening up a gun cabinet, although, you know, physically it looks like a wardrobe. I'm going to go ahead and search this thing again, and I do find the same weapon as I've got right now, like I mentioned, but that will be changed in the future. But it's just a pretty cool system to add some more loot to the world, and somewhere where obviously you might not have access to. I mean, if you don't have a crowbar, then you can't open it up, but if you do happen to come across a crowbar, then you're in luck. Another thing I want to show you guys is actually the animated heli crashes. You might have seen them in some mods before, but these ones are a bit different. You can see they've got some smoke coming out the back of them, they're extremely damaged. And essentially what these do is they come inland into the shore, and eventually they'll just explode in a random location and crash, and they'll destroy everything random, like trees, for example. You'll see this very soon when I go down to a crash. But also these ones, which makes them a bit different in this mod, is you're actually able to shoot them down with a weapon. We've got a certain amount of damage we can take, and then after that we will fall to the floor. In this case, we shot down this heli, and we're going over the loot right now, and you can see it's flaming. You know, there's actually a fire happening in the heli. It's a bit weird, but in normal DayZ, the heli crashes are smoking, but they don't have any fire coming from them, which doesn't make any sense. But this is another cool feature of a mod. So once we got down to the heli over here, you can see it has smashed down all the trees around it. Like I said, I mean, it could crash into a city and destroy a city, which is a pretty cool concept to, you know, see, for example, an exploded Chernigorsk with a heli crash somewhere inside it and seeing smoke from it. It's rather interesting. And something pretty cool about these heli crashes as well, although it's not too big of a deal, instead of just having the loot spawning around it, it's got a random amount of loot. I think it told me from 1 to 9 loot spawns, and it'll actually be slightly away from a helicopter. You can see I'm just looking around the edge expecting to see a weapon or something like that, but the loot is actually spread in the forest, you know, about 20 or 30 meters around the edge of it, so it just makes it a bit more interesting. Instead of just seeing all the loot around it, you actually have to, you know, look through a forest, and depending on where it crashes, it could be harder or easy to get loot from it. Another feature I might have seen from some ARMA mods is you're actually able to kill people and then take their clothing off, which is a pretty cool system, which as far as I know is only in DayZ Overwatch. So I'm able to go ahead and take that off them and get the bandit ghillie suit, but of course since I'm not a bandit, I'm not able to wear it. And another thing you can do in this mod is you can actually go ahead and burn their body if you do have matches inside your inventory. So again, given an item which doesn't have too much of a use, another use, so you can go ahead and burn a body, maybe attract some survivors around them. Of course they are going to run to something which is flaming, and it will eventually make the body black, you know, because it's burnt. And I'm guessing eventually we'll probably remove the the hide body system, so that way if you do want to actually get rid of a loot, you'll probably be able to ignite the body. Not too bad of an idea. Obviously it's high risk because you burn the body, you're going to attract survivors around you, but eventually it will get rid of loot, so I think that's pretty cool. And you can see right here, he's flaming, he's on fire. It's a very bright light. I didn't expect it to be that bright, but pretty cool system again. Another feature of this mod is kind of similar to the one which I've shown you before. It's actually called the search/harvest feature, but you're able to go ahead and find vending machines, and then you can press smash and search, and you can smash down the vending machine and get some drinks from them. In this case, I just got an empty soda can, which kind of sucks, but we're going to be changing it so that loot such as food and drink is going to be removed from supermarkets, or at least not as plentiful, and then you have to actually search from things like this, and also you can go to greenhouses, get vegetables from them, which I'll show you very soon, and stuff like that. We are going to be adding in some more things to break into as well, but you can see I can search this desk as well. The fridge to my right is something we're going to be adding in very soon, but you can see I don't actually need any item to open up the drawers of this desk, because, you know, it's a desk. Why the hell would I need a crowbar? And I can search it. In this case, it was empty, but you can imagine, again, you can find maybe a pistol or something left inside the drawer. Showing off the lighting system a bit more here, but you can see you can actually shoot out all of the light bulbs in here. There's even light bulbs added to the front of the firehouse, so you're able to shoot those maybe with a silenced weapon or silenced sniper. And depending on how dark it is, of course, it did just become nighttime here, so it's not too big of a deal, but obviously if it's midnight and you shoot out a light bulb, it could be the difference between life and death depending on the situation. This was a bit of a joke which the devs showed me, but I thought it was pretty funny. It's My Little Kitty. What? It's not My Little Kitty. Hello Kitty, that's one. What the hell is thinking of My Little Pony? But you can see this is a Hello Kitty car. This is not going to be in the final game, but I thought I'd show you guys it anyway, since I thought it was a pretty interesting model to have in ARMA 2, you know, a war simulator, and you've got a Hello Kitty car. But it's not going to be in the final mod, don't worry, this is not DayZ Civilian. And this is also actually a custom zombie right here. You can see he's a police guard kind of guy, I don't know, prison guard, something like that, and he's beside the fire station here, which is in Balota. Another new location in Balota, and you can see the road all the way along here as well. Of course, it wasn't originally in Balota. Because they're able to add the roads in using the map editor, it does mean a lot more places look very natural. You can see the roads going into a fire station. It just looks like it, you know, it's been there the entire time, when of course it hasn't been. Whereas in Overwatch Breaking Point, because they can't change the roads, a lot of the buildings which have been added do look very unnatural. This is what I was talking about before as well, but you can see they've even got lights on the front of a fire station, so you can go ahead and shoot those out, and you can see the light bulb fall. And then boom, it's dark as shit. Pretty cool stuff. I haven't really talked about it too much, but before we move on to our next location, which is actually on the eastern side of Chernigorsk, have done quite a lot of renovation. Obviously, I'm not going to be showing you guys everything which has changed about the map, but they have changed even the western side of Chernigorsk and other cities and all that kind of stuff. We can see there is quite a few new buildings over here, and also the custom models below the bus right now, which is also, the bus itself is a custom model. But they have added in a lot of weapons and a lot of vehicles and a lot of skins. Don't worry about that. It is very similar to Breaking Point / Overwatch in that sense. I think from what I've heard, they told me there's more weapons than there is actually in Breaking Point. I don't know if that's true, but I did see a lot of new weapons which I've never seen before. This is another new system similar to the one I've shown you before, but basically able to find these greenhouses in the map which you're able to harvest crops from if you've got a knife. A pretty cool system. You can also cook this stuff. You can see this is just raw turnip. If I put it on a fire, I'm able to cook it and it will just give me a certain amount of blood. Like I said before, they're going to be removing the loot from the corner shop, so that way you're going to find loot from finding these greenhouses around the map or breaking a vending machine. So finding something like that is going to be a big deal instead of just going in a corner shop and being stocked up for pretty much your entire life, because to be honest, food and drink isn't too big of a deal whatsoever in the normal DayZ. But you can see again, I've added it in our fire station here. They've made sure not to add too much military loot. You're not going to find like 5 barracks or something in an airfield. I think we've only added 1 barracks in the entire mod, and the rest of it is just some, you know, mediocre builds. It's not going to have too amazing gear in it. And most of the loot you're going to find are going to be from either the boxes or the 2 normal barracks found on Chernigorsk, which are both in the northwest airfield. But you can see here again, I'm still on Chernigorsk. Chernigorsk, and you can see we've just added a lot of new buildings, a lot of new roads, and it just looks natural. Adds a bit more of loot to find when in Chernigorsk. The next thing I want to show you guys is, in my opinion, one of the coolest things found in the mod. It's called the Cleansing Center. You can see the big building to my right is the one you can go inside and find all the stuff inside it. This is the real end game source for medical loot. We're going to be removing a lot of medical loot from hospitals and making it so players have to go to these cleansing centers. There's going to be more than one in the map, but you can see you can go inside this building. I've actually seen this, well, not very similar building. It's exactly the same building on Breaking Point, but didn't have anything inside it. But obviously once it opened up these shutters, you'll see this place is, it's been changed a lot. I've added in a lot of stuff inside it. There are quite a few medical machines actually able to combine opium, which I don't know where you find it, but someone who was playing with me actually gave me some opium inside my inventory. You can combine that with a moldy pumpkin and make, actually forgot what it was. Oh yeah, antibiotics, that's what it was. So the only real place you can get antibiotics from is here. So you're going to have to go to one of these cleansing centers and obviously have those things. So it's going to be very hard to get rid of the infection once you've got it, which is pretty cool. We can see these tents over here, well not tents, but the medical places right here. You can see some small boxes on the wall. You are able to normally search and loot those like you can with the supply boxes and all that stuff, but right now it's bugged and it will be fixed very soon. But you're able to go inside those, get medical supplies from them, but basically it's going to be very hard to get medical supplies. So these are really, like I said, going to be the only place you can go for that. We are planning on adding a system in the future maybe where you're able to only blood bag at these centers unless you've got the actual appropriate gear in the field. So say for example, you're low on blood, you're not able to actually blood bag each other unless you're either here in the cleansing center or you are out in the wilderness and you have got the appropriate things, which I don't know what they are, just some kind of medical kit, something like that, which goes inside your tool belt as normal. You can see this machine to my left as well. I attempted to create the antibiotics, but you can see I've actually only got the opium and I don't have a moldy pumpkin. But it's pretty cool that I've actually removed antibiotics entirely from the game and made it so, you know, getting infected is a really big deal. Because zombies, obviously in the original DayZ, aren't a threat, but getting infected now is going to be a real hassle. But, I mean, the build as a whole, you can just see, if you've ever seen my Breaking Point first impressions, or was it Breaking Point? I can't remember. No, I think it was Civilian, in fact. Yeah, it was Civilian, definitely not Breaking Point. But Civilian had a very similar building, but it didn't actually have any, it didn't have anything whatsoever in it. But obviously here it's got all of the walls, it's got all of the different the little areas you can search, and it's going to make it very interesting for close quarter combat. They are planning on adding even more places to search as well. You can see I tried out that vending machine back there, but it was already searched. But like the boxes and stuff over here, you will be able to eventually open them up with crowbars and whatnot. But right now they are not added. But I mean, well, they are added, but you can't search them right now. But this box right here, the cardboard one, they did plan on having that so you can search it. Maybe find some food, some drink, or something along those lines. And there's another box inside here which I could have searched, but alas, I cannot. And I thought that was it for medical building. You know, you're going to have some close quarter fights. It's going to be a high contested area. But there's actually even more. If you go through these little areas right here, you can see some windows to my left as well, which of course you could shoot down in. You can go along that railing and really lock down the area. But if you go all the way along this railing area right here and go through this door, there's actually 2 ladders which lead you up here. So there we go, we're on top of the roof now, and you can see you can open up this door, and there's actually 4 different windows, well, 3 different windows, one of them's already smashed, but you can actually smash these windows and shoot down from them. on top of that, this place is actually between Chernigorsk and Elektro, so the big mountain between those two, you could snipe from it, but you can see you can break that glass, you can shoot through it, and again, just another really good place to have some cool endgame fights. I mean, if there was someone up here, it would be extremely hard to get around them, but I'm sure there would be some kind of way, maybe some ladders on the side. I'm not really sure, I didn't really explore the place entirely, but you can also do this. And as you can see, we're shooting the glass, and what happens to glass when you're shooting this? It breaks, and that guy died. Rest in many, many pieces. But yeah, another really cool feature of this building, and since it's got all the interiors and all the medical things inside it, and the potential of having blood bagging only inside this building unless you've got the medical supplies, or medical equipment, I guess you could say, it's going to be a really interesting area to see once you've got 40 or 50 people on the server. I am, of course, skipping a few things because, to be honest, this mod just adds so many new items to the map. So I'm just trying to show you the main places which are of interest to me. And not to say that all places are bad, but it's just they're not as amazing as these. I don't have all the time in the world. But this place is over on the eastern shoreline. It's Solnitsy. You can see this is at the gas station, which you guys should be able to recognize just on this area where I'm looking around map right now. Well, just between Solnitsy and the northern area. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this barbed wire, and then we can go inside. And inside, they've got some really good ambush locations. You can actually also see, I didn't mention it, but you might be wondering why is the colour of the screen changed. It actually changes at night time to this colour. To be honest, I don't really like it that much. It might change in the future, but when it is night time, it changes to a bit more of a yellowy wasteland kind of thing. It's a bit weird, but we'll go with it. But inside here, there's some really good choke points, a really good place to ambush a passing car or something like that. So you can go ahead and get on these empty machine guns, and these have actually got a random amount of ammo inside them. But you can see right here, 37 ammo, not too big of a deal. I mean, it is extremely strong, but if a car does come down the road, you can go ahead and ambush it. We've also got these ladders up here, but as a whole, all these individually placed props, it must have took a very long time, you know, having all of these little barrels, all the little boxes, just to add to it and make it look very natural. I do really like it a lot. You can also go up here and go prone and shoot over it if you do so does that. Also with vehicles, I haven't mentioned it before, but it does have the ability to check for cargo, so you're able to see how much the car's got in it until it's full. There's also a separate submenu for salvaging from vehicles, aka taking pieces off of vehicles, putting pieces onto vehicles. So as a whole, the vehicle system is just a lot easier to deal with as well, which is pretty cool. Next up before a grand finale is actually the cave system. I haven't looked at all the caves in this video, because to be honest, these guys don't even know where half the caves are. I'm sure the map creator does, ARMA, but yeah, we didn't know where all of them exactly were. But this is a cave found in the bottom left of the map, I believe. I can't exactly remember where it was, but you can go ahead and light this. It's a good place to actually make a base in. It's not amazing because obviously people are going to know about this cave system, but it's pretty cool that I've added in this feature, just having a lovely little place to chill out with your friends. Maybe put a tent and keep some of your supplies there, but obviously it's going to be rather hard to guard. This is another cave system found up in Black Lake, I think it's called, in the top right of the map, just below the northeast airfield. And you're actually able to go underwater here. Obviously, because in Arma 2 you aren't able to actually swim underwater, you have to prone through it. So it's a bit weird because you're just proning through the water, but that's really the only way we could do it. But you can go ahead and, goddamn, why is everyone in my way? Actually, I haven't talked about it yet, but you can see everyone's got custom clothing as well. I've just got like jeans and normal shirts, which are stained, which is a bit more realistic instead of coming in with like some, you know, armor gear as you would do normally in DayZ. But this is another cool little cave system which you could have your valuables inside it. Nothing too amazing, but I thought it was a pretty cool idea added by them, and they could change this as well, so we've got some more cave systems around the map, and just have a personal cave system to you if you do so desire. So quickly before I show you guys the last location, which is actually a prison, probably my favourite part of all of the mod, but they have reworked all of the sound effects, so all the sound effects are custom of the weapon. Some of the old weapons from, you know, Arma 2 are still there, like the AKM, but most weapons are new, like, I don't know, probably 95% or something like that. There's a lot of new weapons like I mentioned before, but they have added in ambient sound. So for example, depending on where you are, say for example it's nighttime, you will hear owls. If it's daytime, you'll hear like crows, like I just heard there a few seconds ago actually. The sea has got a custom sound as well, so it sounds slightly different, but as a whole, the ambience of the map and the mod, I should actually say, is really cool. It's nice to see they've added in those ambient sounds, because it's something I really liked in Namos, but no other map or mod does it. But this is actually located between the Northwest Airfield and Starry. They have again added this, so there's custom roads here, so it does look very natural. You can go ahead and open up that, and inside the prison there is a lot of military gear. We've got a wall that goes around the perimeter, which allows you to guard it really well if you are going to camp here. Just another real end game location to go to. Obviously you can't go inside that hotel thing to your left because that's just a normal Arma 2 house right there, but right over here we can go through this gate. If we just open this up using the left one right there, and there we go, it's opened up, and in the back we've got a really nice location. It's not overwhelmed with barracks, because obviously then there'd be way too much loot on the mod, but instead we've just got these buildings, which again do actually have military loot similar to a barracks, but we do have a lot of trash loot as well. So you will find a lot of toilet rolls, a lot of painkillers, and some not useful stuff. But if you do search through all of them, and this location is clear for you, then you are able to definitely get a weapon. You can see right here, I just walked through and I found a new weapon right here, which is called the AKS-74P, I believe. Yeah, AKS-74P. It's got some custom sounds, nothing too amazing, but obviously you're going to find a lot better gear if you do spend a lot of hours on it. If you shoot down for helicopters, you're going to find, I do know as weapons like a Lapua SD, a lot of cool new sniper rifles, and like I said, because it's got more weapons in Breaking Point, you are going to see a lot of weapons you've never seen in Breaking Point, in Overwatch, or any other mod before, which is really cool. At the side, they've got a crop growing location. I guess eventually you will be able to harvest these, but right now they have no real purpose. You can see the wall just in front of me there. But they've got a kind of pitch, a football pitch even to my left, which is pretty cool. And also over here you can climb up to a wall. Also right in here, they've actually got a few greenhouses, which you can't use right now, but they will be accessible in the future. So then you're able to get some more food from there. But I think I'm just going to go ahead, go right here and go up the wall and show you guys what the wall is all about. But checking out the wall quickly, you can see I'm just chilling out up here with my lovely gun, and you can go ahead and combat roll to all the different areas. The walls are just high enough to keep your head down without getting shot over them, but you can of course go prone and camp it out if you do so desire. It might make it a bit hard for endgame, to be honest, because there's going to be so many, good places to camp. Some guy could just camp here all day and you're never going to know where the hell he is because there's so many buildings go inside. In fact, even at the end of the wall, you're able to go inside a location which brings you up to the wall, but I guess that might maybe counted because it's not like, you don't have to go up the ladders to get to here. So there is some safe locations to get up to the wall and be able to maybe flank someone or something like that, even if you're not up on the wall already and they're just sitting here prone. Another cute little thing, but we've actually got a spotter light at the top of the prison as well. You can see it has got shut out right there, but you're actually able to go behind it and move it around as a player, so you can position it in a different place if you want to. Another cool little thing which you can play around with, and you can of course shoot it out if it does get a bit annoying. Also at the end of the wall, the thing which I just talked about is the little way which you can get back down to. It's just to the right of the entrance. You can see actually a guy just shut out another light right beside me right there, but you can just go ahead and combat roll over this. And then you can open up this door right here behind me, and you're able to go back down to a floor level if you really do want to as well. So you can see I'm opening up the door right now, and I think that's pretty much everything I want to show you guys for the mod. Like I said, I haven't shown you everything. Obviously, I haven't shown you any of the new weapons whatsoever, but I just wanted to give you guys a decent idea as to what the mod adds. I haven't listed everything, and the devs are very much so hard work making it better. And adding in some new ideas. Like I said, the idea of having the blood bags only in the cleansing centers, that isn't necessarily going to happen, but it's an idea which I talked to them about, and they said it sounded like a pretty good one, and it's something they considered in the past. So I am going to continue the series, but probably in a while, once the mod gets a bit more popular. But definitely check out the website. It's got a very interesting future, in my opinion, because the devs actually know what the hell they're doing, or at least they do from what I talked to them about. But yeah, there's some stuff in the northeast. We're going to be changing the northwest. We've got a city to the west of Cherno. There's a lot of cool stuff which I just can't show you because of time constraints. But yeah, I will see you guys for part 2. I'll hopefully give out the details, or the devs to give out the details to about 100 or so people, so I can get some people on the server and get some action. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all good stuff. Like I said, check out the website in the description below for some more details. It is still in closed alpha right now, but we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I'll see you guys for part 2, and hopefully I should murder quite a few people.